A cutting board and put a wet paper towel underneath it so it doesn't slide out. You want to grab your knife. It's for like the 6th time. Some soap, all that stuff. Can't wash my hands holding the phone, but yeah, you get the point. So your ingredients are going to be cilantro, fire roasted diced tomatoes, jalapenos, lime, chipotle powder, cumin, cayenne, pepper, sea salt, white onion, and then I'm gonna make a spicy batch, but habanero, because my family can't handle it. Okay, so that's why you need a lot of stuff. I have more I need to chop, but you can either chop rough like this or nice and uniform like this using a certain method. Most chefs know it. You have to clamp the onion like this. Make sure your tips of your fingers are guarded by your knuckles. Then you want to take your knife, do thin slices on the entire onion like this. Except you want to have a chunk off the onion. Make sure you don't go all the way to the end of the root because you don't want to sever the onion. Then you want to take your knife and in the same side where you started those cuts where you didn't finish, you want to do thin little slices upwards, obviously guarding your fingers again, holding the onion like this so you don't slice your fingers. And then you want to chop, starting at the side where you started those cuts. And that's how you get the uniform cuts, or you can just do rough like this. Either way, it's getting blended, so it doesn't really matter. Onion. Put some lime juice into a bowl. Squeeze all that lime juice out. Just chop some jalapenos into it. Jalapenos like this. Next, habanero. From the spice, it's a really pretty looking pepper. Like this with the jalapenos. So you're gonna take a lot of cilantro, depending on how much, well, depends on how you like cilantro. But for me, that's a lot, so cilantro. Try your best to de-stem it because the textures you get from stems and cilantro is very unpleasant. Cilantro in a colander, wash off all the dirt or sand, especially if it's fresh. Like this. So it looks like this right now. It's really compact though, so it's a lot more than it looks like. Final steps before assembly now is to crack open these cans of fire roasted tomatoes. It may seem like you want to use fresh tomatoes, but nope. You want to use the fire roasted diced tomatoes. These add that flavor you get at restaurants and everything. It's very, 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 very important for that flavor. So bad when you first open the can, but once you add all the sauce ingredients together, it's so good. Just don't be thrown off by the smell. It's a lot of tomatoes. As you can see, a lot of tomatoes. I'm gonna add in the onion. Like that. Then cilantro. Like this. Next, add in your peppers, which is habanero and jalapeno for me. Also, you can add more stuff as you see fit once you're done mixing everything together. That's what I usually do. Because you gotta eyeball it. Next, take some of this chipotle powder. I'm gonna put a whole bunch of that on the top. Probably about that much, which is about, I'd say, 2 tablespoons for what I'm doing right now. Next, pepper. Put about a tablespoon in there, or half a tablespoon for me. Then you want to take some salt. Just get a lot of salt in there. Then take your lime juice, pour it all over the top to get that stuff seeping in. Then, you're gonna want to put some cayenne pepper in there, but only a tiny bit since you already have some spice. And finally, add cumin. Keep adding cumin. Okay. You can keep tasting it as you go. Chop up some garlic in there because it's a really good part of the salsa. Don't chop it up too much though, because if you do it too much, then when you put it in the blender, all the garlic will basically just be turned into like almost liquid, which is very not good. So just chop it up. Try to chop a little bit on one hand, but yeah. Bowl, you can put it in a blender for a few seconds, a food processor, anything that will just chop up that salsa. It's super fine. Not too fine though, because then it's just like paste. But once you're done, it should look like this. Did you see it in light? That's what it should look like. Goodbye, salsa.